Alright guys, welcome back to the shed. So we're going to start cleaning this frame up. We managed to get the centre stand off, and by getting it off I mean I cut the thing and bent the part of the frame that holds it. So we're going to take all this loose powder coating off, the old factory stuff. We'll treat the frame with the aqua steel. If you need me or anyone else to explain how to clean a frame up, I suggest you stop what you're doing. Okay, so we're still working on this frame, and this is one of the parts that we don't like doing, because it's a nightmare to make sure the frame's entirely clean and rust free. But the one thing I always tend to do is I always tend to get into all these difficult to reach areas first, because that's the bits that if you do the larger surfaces first, by the time you come to do these wee crevices, the wee nooks and crannies, this is when you start getting annoyed, and this is when you start wanting to walk away from the job that you're doing. And it's also the part that you're starting to pay less attention. You do these wee nooks and crannies first, all the wee difficult to reach areas, and get them done first. And then once they're done, that's the worst day. A clean up like this done. Yeah. Anyway, on with it. Right guys, we've treated this section of frame. With our aqua steel. So I'm going to leave this overnight because it's quite late now actually. No, it's not as late as I thought, it's only 7:30. But we've done this bit of frame, so that's done. I should really do this bit today as well, but I can't be arsed, so I'll do it tomorrow. But yeah, we made a start. We'll see how this looks tomorrow. Hey, just getting this a second coat of the aqua steel. So holding a wee discussion, what do you guys like to see? At the moment I'm posting what I can. I would like to do more review videos, tools and stuff like that, but unfortunately I can't afford to be putting out money on items that I don't really use. So it'd be nice to hopefully one day get items that I can review. But in the meantime, obviously we'll continue with the build videos. I'm trying to figure out what other videos I can start to do. I have been keeping track of any ideas, short explainer videos. We're going to look at how far we can push a 125 engine. I noticed that you can buy aftermarket oil coolers for 125s, for the air cooled 125s. Now, I have seen videos on YouTube about these coolers, however, a lot of them appear to be people from India, Pakistan, where bikes are a little more prevalent on the roads. So I'm going to have a look at one of them. It'll probably be part of this build series for the 125, because this 125, even though it's a 125, it's going to be sitting quite a lot on national speed limit roads. So that's one thing. There is other things. As I say, we're going to see how far a 125 can be pushed. What we'll do is we'll see how far it can be tuned, what's worthwhile doing, what's not worthwhile doing. Ow, that's my head. It'll be based on a carburetor engine, because a lot of the newer 125 bikes are obviously fuel injection. Not a lot, they all are now. The Euro 4, Euro 5 are all fuel injection, which complicates things a little. You need to be able to change settings on the ECU, and a lot of them are locked down, you know, encrypted, coded, so we can't really get access to them. I'd rather work with the carb engines anyway, because they are so much easier to work with, easier to tune. Now I know a 125 is not the best engine for tuning, right? You know, you see a lot of lads out there like, how do I get this to go faster? But the whole point of a 125 is that they have little power as a 125 for anybody that doesn't stay in the UK. The CBT option for getting the motorbike, which allows you to ride anything up to a maximum of 125 cc's to a maximum of 15 horsepower. I'm going to have a spare engine there, so what we'll do is we'll strip it down and we'll have a look to see internally what can't be done. That's going to be a multi-video series. Now my main concern with doing anything like that is I don't have the facility to test horsepower and torque. On another subject, I have seen a lot of people complaining about the new E10 fuel. The thing is, E10 is not going to be perfect in all engines, right? Now that's a given, okay? Now, if you have an old carburetor bike, now I'm mainly talking about the old Chinese, they're not real old, but if you've got a Chinese engine and you're having problems with E10 fuel, the first thing I would suggest you do is you get your bike serviced. And when I say serviced, I mean a full service. I don't just mean changing the oil, change your spark plug, change. Get the valves done at the same time. Take the time to get your carburetor tuned, cleaned and tuned. Sometimes I find a lot of it being more psychological. Now I can hear people screaming, don't talk rubbish. Let me think about this. Before E10 came in, V-Power was not going to give you any more torque, any more horsepower. People think that V-Power, high octane fuel, is going to give them more power. And I don't know where this idea comes from, but it is totally wrong. Okay, the only difference between unleaded against super unleaded, right? So that's 95 versus 8 over 97, we'll just say, right? The only difference between them is how much they can be compressed before they self-ignite. Alright, we're back. The joys of using your mobile phone as your main recording device. Anyway, as I was trying to explain, if you've got a low compression ratio engine, say 10 to 1, a 95 octane fuel is absolutely fine. But if I had to put that fuel into an engine that's got a higher compression ratio, say 13 to 1, 14 to 1, but even in those engines you would still be fine. But if you're not sure, then you can put that higher octane fuel in, because it's less likely to ignite on its own. So that's the only difference, as the chances of the fuel igniting under a set compression ratio. That's the only difference in the octane ratings. There is no extra power. In a higher compression ratio engine, the extra power comes from that higher compression and not from the fact that it's using V-Power or any other premium fuel and as I said before, I don't know where this idea came from. You know, it's maybe the fact that cars like Porsche, Ferrari, Lambos, you know, they have to use that V-power fuel. I've done the second coat on this frame, so I'm going to go in, grab myself a cup of tea. I'll probably play the PS4 for a bit, and then we'll see how it looks. So we've got to get all this loof. Got all the. You need tea. And well, that's broke.